Hi, everyone. My name's Anthony, and have you ever been in love? Aww. Like love? Woo! Like a couple of people are clapping, and it's real sad. You might not be able to rate, but imagine with me. Imagine you have someone you've connected with, you really are getting there with them, and you spend time with them, you fall asleep with them, you wake up with them, and you're just how did this happen? How could it be that I have someone as special as you to wake up with right next to me? Aww. I remember when I had that first experience, this guy, his name was Larson. And he's a textbook. Guys, he's a textbook. It was my math textbook. It was my calculus math textbook. It was Larson's calculus. He was a great guy. Lots of information, always had details, always learning something new. Tons of problems, but all solvable, especially if you look in the back. You just go through it, and you could spend so much time. We spent semester after semester together, I would start doing problems at night, and then I'd fall asleep, and then I'd wake up, and the textbook was still there. And I realized years later, I was that is what love is. Love is someone staying there when the morning comes. You're not by yourself anymore. You have someone to carry with you through your experience. I could have tried other guys. There was Stewart, there was Thompson. They were cool too, but the other ones were a little too complicated or a little too abstract. Not my kind of tea. Larson was my first guy. That was the guy. I've moved on. I'm not into calculus anymore. There's this new guy, his name is Charles, and he's an abstract kind of guy, mostly focused on algebra, and that's where I'm spending my time right now. I'm spending my time in algebra land. I've graduated on, cool. So, I've never done dick jokes on stage. I've never done them because I'm always afraid that you remember Professor Oak from the Pokemon games? If you rode your bike inside of a cave, Professor Oak would shout out from nowhere, "You can't ride a bike indoors." Mind you, he's always in Pallet Town. He never leaves. And you're in a cave somewhere on the other side of Kanto, and he somehow knows instinctively you're riding a bike inside of a cave. I feel like my chairperson would do the same thing. I hear Anthony talking about dick on stage. I need to let him know he can't do that. He's a college professor. How dare he talk about dick on stage? So I'm gonna do it. Today I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about dick on stage. I don't understand this phenomenon of guys who take pictures of their dicks with cans of Coke next to them. And it's not for the reason you think. It's, first off, what makes you think sitting down in your room, you're of all the things in my room that I could use to measure my dick, it would be the Coke can. And it's never the Diet Pepper can, it's never the Sprite can, it's always the Coke can. And also the other one is the remote control. They also use a remote control. And as a mathematician, I'm this is your chance to use a mathematical tool that was designed ages ago for you to measure this. All of the times my students love to tell me, "Hey, what am I gonna use this math for? Why am I taking this math class? Why did I have to do this?" And you're telling me in the dead of night, the first thing that comes to mind is Coke can is a good measurement tool. you don't even know how long the Coke can is. The Coke, and by the way, I looked this up, 4.83 inches. A standard United States aluminum can is 4.83 inches. So then what are the rest of the inches gonna be measured with? If that's what you're putting it next to, and of course the remote control is longer than it, and so I'm like, okay, how about this? A lot of people, when they finish high school, they take trigonometry. And you know, they always have that problem, how tall is the building if you're standing this way and there's a certain angle of elevation from here? I'm like, this is your opportunity. Whip out your calculator, whip out your compass, rip out your protractor, because we're about to do some math. So if your dick is upright, then that is a straight line. And if your line of sight is perpendicular to the dick, then hey, that is a right angle, and hence you can make your right triangle, people, right? Okay? No, you're gonna learn some tonight. Okay, and so if you're right there and the dick's up here and the base is here and you have your line of sight and you're all good, you can calculate the distance between you and the base of the shaft. Great, now we have your adjacent angle. And then you take your angle of elevation from you to the pinnacle of the penis, and that is your angle, and then you use the appropriate trig function to calculate exactly the size of the dick. Problem solved. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Because now you know all of those years ago when you sat in that trig class, you were really learning sexual health. Just to like, I guess the thing that frustrates me the most about this Coke can, because I can't let this go, that's always a Coke can, is that I'm like, a Coke can's measure is ounces. 12 ounces, that's what's in a can. Is that what you're relating your dick to? 12 ounces? And like a remote control is a measurement of how many channels you have. Is that what you're relating your dick to? And then also note, they never use it to measure the girth of their dick, because no dick is as thick as a Coke can. My name is Anthony Hargraves.